Hong Kong has had a tumultuous past few years, but while its democracy might be dead and the rights of its citizens eroding, football lives on. So let's check out the stadiums of the Hong Kong Premier League. Mong Kok Stadium. This stadium's been around since the 60s, but it was the major rebuild 10 or so years ago that made it the modern stadium that it is today. Immediately you'll notice the stadium's distinctive roofs. From some angles they remind me of the sails of traditional Chinese sailboats. From other angles they're looking like paper aeroplanes, which I believe were the predecessor of the Boeing 707. Either way, they look good. As to those orange and grey seats, there's something about that combination that I love. A beautiful stadium to start with. Sham Shui Po Sports Ground is a fairly simple multi-purpose stadium, with just the one rainbow-coloured grandstand. The rest of the ground being bordered by trees. Those rainbow seats are mostly of the bench variety. Although the capacity is modest, you could be watched on by tens of thousands of businessmen and women in the surrounding buildings. That is the case for pretty much every stadium in the league though. It is after all Hong Kong. Tsuen Kwan O Sports Ground is another ground with just the one grandstand. There is a noticeable difference however. This design is quite spectacular inside and out. I especially like the way the seating tapers down to nothing. It looks kinda elegant. This stadium cost $400 million to build, which seems ludicrous until you realise that was actually 400 million Hong Kong dollars, which is worth about an eighth of the US dollar at the moment. I think it was worth it. Tai Po Sports Ground. Yet another stadium with a track, which is obviously not ideal for football. However, you can understand why multi-purpose stadiums are so popular given the cost of land here. To be honest, I'm not sure a track and field stadium is worth the cost of land in rural Mongolia either. Okay, that's a bit harsh. The stands here are a little bit more sophisticated than at the last two stadiums, I guess. There's also a sizable video board over in the southeastern corner of the field. Tsing Yi Sports Ground. This is very similar to Sham Shui Po, with the addition of a bit of a, well, not quite an ocean view, but a view of the Rambler Channel. Oh man, I hate those Rambler channels. You know, the ones where the people go off on long meaningless tangents? I hate those people. Always trailing off, talking about something completely unrelated, when everyone just wants them to get back on track and talk about what the video is actually about. Bloody ramblers, they just go off topic and before you know it, you've forgotten what they were even talking about to begin with. What was I saying? Oh yes. Nice view, but the main stand here appears to be a 3-minute drive away from the field, so bring your binoculars. HKFC Football Stadium. It's a shame that HKFC stands for Hong Kong Football Club and not Hong Kong Fried Chicken. I'd imagine it would taste slightly better than its Kentucky counterpart.
You wanna try and say that to my face, boy?
Well, it's nothing against you, I just think Hong Kong Fried Chicken would have like a sweet and spicy thing going on.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. That sounds nice.
Yeah. In case you hadn't noticed already, the stadium's located within the bounds of the famous Happy Valley Racecourse, where they of course race a horse around the course. It must make for a bit of an unusual atmosphere, especially if they ever happen to play football and race horses at the same time. The stadium itself is not too shabby, chairback seating throughout. Aberdeen Sports Ground. No, there isn't a team based in northern Scotland. There's also an Aberdeen in Hong Kong. Unlike in Scotland, Hong Kong can experience typhoons, and this place was actually the victim of a typhoon a few years back, causing enough damage to the mostly wooden roof to cause the closure of the venue for a couple of years. However, it's back up and running, with a new roof that is less wooden. Oh look, he's made a friend. Hammerhill Road Sports Ground. We have a bit more Scottishness because this is the home of Rangers. Ironically, Hammerhill Road Sports Ground is located in a place called Diamond Hill, and the nearest hill is called Elephant Hill, so they're all over the place with their hills. As for the stadium itself, well, it's like many of the other stadiums we've seen in this video. Basic, kinda boring, but in good condition at the very least. Maybe it's that little hill there that's Hammer Hill. And those were the Hong Kong Premier League stadiums. If you enjoyed the video and you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, have a good one.